Hello, welcome to Crazy Korean Cooking. I'm Grace.
I'm Stephanie.
Today we're going to make
Jangjorim,
Korean style braised beef. When we were young, our lunchbox wasn't sandwich bags. It was like a lunchbox with rice and different side dishes. And one of my favorite side dishes for lunchbox was Jangjorim because it has a little bit of meat and it has some eggs. That flavor really makes your rice taste good. And it goes with other vegetables and kimchi.
It's a very simple dish. It doesn't require a lot of ingredients, but obviously you need meat. What kind of meat do we need?
This is flank steak. Usually you would use beef that people would use for braising, but because you're supposed to tear the meat at the end, you want meat with grain. And you just need a bunch of basic vegetables, green onions, garlic, and onion. Korean radish, if you have it, it's good. You don't need to have it. And some eggs. Traditionally, people like to use quail eggs for this dish. And
in Korea, we
couldn't find quail eggs this time, so we're using eggs. But people use eggs as well.
Yeah.
But I actually really like quail eggs because it's
a nice bite size. Yeah.
Cut the ingredients into large pieces to make the beef broth first. And we're gonna boil our eggs. It's exactly same as any other hard-boiled eggs. So our beef has been nicely cooked and we're just going to strain this. Just remember, you want to save the soup. You don't want to throw it out because we're going to use it. Okay. I'm going to put it back. Onions. Add garlic. And if you like, this is optional, you can put some green peppers for a little bit of spicy kick. I'm going to add soy sauce. Add sugar, a little bit of black pepper. We're gonna boil again with the lid on.
So we have hard-boiled eggs now. They're ready. Just gonna soak them in cold water. I'll tell you a little trick. It's easier to peel off a shell when you pull them under the water, actually.
I think it's ready. It smells amazing already. So what we want to do is we just want to take out the meat so we can cool it to tear it apart. And at this point, you want to take this off the heat. We want to add our eggs in the sauce. Just tear it along the grain. I like to shred it pretty thin because I think the sauce gets in really nicely. That's meat. At this point, we're gonna just put all the meat back into the sauce. It's gonna serve them in a nice little dish. And you can either put the whole egg or you can cut them. And don't forget to add some sauce in there. Our Jangjorim.
Janjorim, it's ready.
You gonna try it? And the meat is really tender as well.
You don't need anything else. Like, the beauty of Jangjorim is when you have nothing else to eat, this with just nicely cooked rice, that's all you need.
Yeah, maybe kimchi.
And kimchi, yeah.
And another great thing about Jangjorim is because the way it's cooked and saltiness of the sauce, if you refrigerate it, it lasts for a few weeks. All you have to do is you take a little bit out and microwave it slightly to warm it up. And you should definitely try this. It's really easy to make too.
Very delicious.
So we made delicious Jangjorim today, and we told you that you can use brisket, flank, or shank, and many other parts of beef for Jangjorim. But some of you, including myself, may not know what this means. So we
I have no idea.
Decided to talk a little bit about cuts of beef today. So Stephanie has drawn this beautiful cow for us. It took a while.
This is a cute cow, by the way.
Yes, the cow has very long eyelashes.
Yes.
I feel kind of bad eating a cow now.
By the way, have in mind that classification of cuts might be slightly different from North American to Korean.
So for example, in North America, you would call this part rib, not this whole thing in the middle, but for some reason Koreans like to call this part, the whole thing, rib. Okay, so don't get confused, it's a little bit different. Professor Stephanie will take us through all the parts of beef.
Yes. chop, 목심.
So you can use chop for stews and soups mostly. You know, any Korean soup like miyeokguk, 소고기국, which is beef, spicy beef soup.
loin, 등심, strip loin, 채끝, tenderloin, 안심,
Loin. So this whole area is kind of like
loin. When you walk into a nice steakhouse,
yes,
these are the part that you get served.
Yeah, and of course you can divide these into many different cuts. You know, there could be a like T-bone steak over there,
Right.
in this part area somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
if you can afford it, the best part is obviously right here. Right, so thinly sliced sirloin for bulgogi. In general, loins are used for grilling.
Steaks.
We do have a lot of great marinades, but Koreans also really enjoy their meat as it is. This area is really, it almost has a little bit of sweet taste and also has a really good amount of marbling. So it makes it soft and tender.
Rump. I just love saying rump, by the way.
Rump.
Udon. The ass part.
Yes. The cow ass.
Butt cheek of a cow.
Rump doesn't have a lot of fat, so if you're avoiding fat,
really?
I'm surprised. I don't know, that's what it said.
Because they exercise. These parts they exercise whenever they're walking.
Oh,
that's the
okay.
only part, right?
Right.
So
maybe it's a little bit different from human because you know our butts seem to have more fat, but
yeah, but oh well, that's another topic. Let's move on.
it's good to have fatty asses.
Yes. Round. 설도.
Round is probably most commonly used for soup and stews actually, and you see it everywhere.
Everything is used for soup and stews.
Think about it. There are so many different types of soup and stews. In Western cuisine and in Korean too. Koreans love, you know, soups and stews. We have lots and lots of different kinds.
Shank, satay, front shank, and back shank.
Yes, you don't actually.
I just made that up.
Yes.
Yes.
People use shank the most for Jangjorim.
Flank and plate, both is known as in Korea, 양지.
And this is again good for soup and stews. People use flank a lot for 육개장. You know, Korean spicy beef soup. Remember we made it last time?
I think these part because it's easier for you to tear, like 육개장 and Janjorim, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
It has nice grains. You can tear with hands.
Yeah. Brisket, 앞다리. So brisket. I know when I go to the market, I often see brisket. That I remember. So it's very commonly used in North America as well.
It's nice to see it in this drawing because I never actually really
Yes.
realized what I was buying.
You're welcome.
Yes. So when you buy brisket, it's right here.
Right here.
Yes.
Last
But not least,
it's
갈비.
dun, 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 dun. What could Korea do without our rib?
Yes. And
갈비.
yes, everyone knows 갈비, Korean barbecue.
The most well-known dish of Korea.
Koreans cut their ribs a little bit differently. Well, actually, very differently from North Americans. And sometimes, if you go to a Korean restaurant, barbecue restaurant, they would have this thick rib, and then they would wrap meat around it, and then they grill the whole thing. Koreans eat everything. They don't waste anything. We also eat cow tongue. Koreans usually use tongues for, they actually grill it, right?
Yeah.
To be honest, I tried it once and I didn't really like it. It tasted like tongues to me. It wasn't for me, but some people really love it.
I love it.
Yes. Stephanie loves all these other parts. Oh, and
I don't eat red meat, by the way.
yeah, she just eats organs and tongues.
And intestines. Yeah.
For real, actually, Koreans they eat intestines. They love tripe. French people eat tripe too, right? Is it? There's French.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, pate.
Yeah.
We use the legs too. So this part, kind of like the upper leg, is called
도가니.
and also this part is called 사골. So basically, this leg part, the bones are used for soups and as
Making a nice sort of that milky beef broth, which is very, very good for you.
Yes, and what else is famous for milky broth?
Milky broth? Oh, the oxtail.
Yeah, if you go to Korea, it's here I think oxtail is really cheap, but in Korea, oxtail is very expensive because people love oxtails. So take advantage of that, please. When you make soups with these tails and 사골 and 도가니, it's really, really good for your health because it contains a lot of collagen. I don't know if you've heard of collagen.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Extremely, extremely good for your skin.
Yes.
You know, here in North America, when you're sick, your mom makes you chicken noodle soup. In Korea, I think mom's makes the oxtail soup. It's loaded with the nutrients. And one time I was young, I was sick for a few days, and that's something that all I could eat. And my skin literally became sort of like milky, pure white color, glowy, soft, supple. Like my skin looked amazing. So now I believe that it must be a collagen.
So for Janjorim, usually you want to use right here.
Outer edge.
Yes. I feel like I'm doing
Sort
some sort of weather forecast.
I told you this looks like a map of America or something.
Yes.
Affordable.
Obviously, if you can afford it, make it with tenderloin. I mean, it'll be amazing. In general, people use tender parts for grilling or things like steak and so on. When you're braising, when you're boiling, you use less tender part because you can make it tender by braising for a long time. So I hope this was helpful, and when you buy beef next time, you will know what part you're buying. Maybe you can picture this in your head. Maybe we can send you a PDF document if you like. Signed by Stephanie. Yes. If you like recipe, helpful tips, and more about ingredients, please visit crazykoreancooking.com. And until next time, don't forget to do something crazy!